listening to 1590 WSMN Nashua.
USA Radio News with Wendy King.
The State Department isn't talking about those text messages that reveal a push to get Ukraine's president to investigate Joe Biden's family in exchange for a visit with President Trump in Washington. House Democrats have revealed the text messages show top American diplomats pushing Ukraine to investigate Joe Biden's family in exchange for a high-profile visit with the president. Democrats like Eric Swalwell say the messages reveal a shakedown.
Ample evidence now that there was a requirement that President Zelensky investigate the 2016 election and the Bidens if he wanted to get a meeting.
The texts were released after one of the diplomats spent 10 hours with House investigators. According to Republican Mark Meadows, the interview actually hurt the Democrats' impeachment push.
There was definitely no quid pro quo.
This is USA Radio News.
If your credit card bills have gotten out of hand and you care about your credit, call Consolidated Credit now. If the interest rates on your credit cards are so high, it'll take years to get out of debt. Call Consolidated Credit now. They've helped over 6 million people with credit card debt. Without destroying your credit, they can consolidate your debts into one lower payment, reduce your interest rates, and get you out of debt fast. The program works. Call Consolidated Credit now. Call 800-406-0046. 800-406-0046. That's 800-406-0046. Consolidated Credit Counseling Services, Inc., 5701 West Sunrise Boulevard, Fort Lauderdale, Florida, 33313. Licensed by the New York Department of Financial Services and by the Vermont Department of Financial Regulation. Maryland DM 1492. Oregon DM 80092. Licensed by the Virginia State Corporation. Commission license number DC 83. Service may adversely affect an individual's credit. Non-payment of debt may lead to additional finance charges or collections activity, including legal action, not a loan company.
There are rumors of a possible recession ahead, but new jobs numbers are now out, and they're solid, says BNC Financial Services Chief Economist Gus Boucher.
We did see a bit slower job growth. We had small job losses in manufacturing. That sector's been weak lately, but still, I think it's indicative of a good labor market, and it's a good time to be looking for a job right now.
Employers added 13,000 jobs in September. The unemployment rate is at a 5-decade low of 3.5%. Police say reports of a man with a gun led to the lockdown of 3 college campuses in South Florida this morning. Officers found the man, who say he only had a toy gun. The Supreme Court is adding an abortion case to its election year docket. The justices have agreed to take up a Louisiana law that could leave the state with just one clinic. The law requires any doctor performing an abortion to have admitting privileges at a nearby hospital. You're listening to USA Radio News.
Now you can fly anywhere in the world and pay discount prices on your airline tickets. Book a flight today to London, Paris, Madrid, or anywhere else you want to go. And pay a lot less guaranteed. Call the International Travel Department right now at Low Cost Airlines.
800-215-5141. 800-215-5141. That's 800-215-5141.
The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention said that over 1,000 confirmed cases of illnesses related to vaping have been reported in the United States. The CDC said at least 18 deaths have been confirmed in 15 states, and Connecticut has just reported another one. More deaths remain under investigation. The first illnesses occurred in late March. Recently, 200 or more cases have been reported each week. Only Alaska and New Hampshire have yet to report cases. Doctors say the illnesses resemble an inhalation injury. President Trump has signed an executive order involving Medicare. USA's Robin Walensky reports.
We will stop at nothing to deliver better health care for you and for your family. I will never let you down.
The president turns his attention to the business of the American people and talks Medicare issues with seniors.
As long as I'm president, no one will lay a hand on your Medicare benefits.
President Trump signing an executive order Thursday titled Protecting Medicare from Socialist Destruction.
This order is the latest step in my administration's drive to ensure the world's best health care for all Americans.
He tells senior citizens living at the Villages in Central Florida.
In my campaign for president, I made you a sacred pledge that I would strengthen, protect, and defend Medicare for all of our senior citizens. And you see it's under siege, but it's not going to happen.
For USA Radio News, I'm Wendy King.
It's 48 degrees.
It's 8:05.
The views and opinions of the following show do not reflect those of WSMN, its owners, and/or associates.
She's crude, often misconstrued, and is actually a dude. Welcome to Life's a Drag. Say hi to New Hampshire's 2018 Entertainer of the Year. Your hostess with the mostest, Monique Too Soon.
Hi, it's Friday night at 8 p.m. Do you know what that means? That means it's Life's a Drag. And life can be a drag, but tonight life is being fun. I am joined tonight by both of my wonderful co-hosts, Miss Caitlin Slowinski and Miss Patty Hurley.
Hi.
And we are joined by Yogi. Is that what they call him?
Sure.
Yogi. Is that is that offensive?
No, not at all.
Oh, okay. So we're joined by,
We're
joined by Yogi Chuck Raffoni of Yoga by Chuck.
Hi, Yoga with Chuck.
Yoga with Chuck. We tagged him in the live feed, so go to his page, give it a like, and if you're interested in yoga, you need to check out a class with him.
That'd be great.
Me and you're such a manly voice on the radio. I like it.
That'd be great.
Not like Rob.
Yeah, not like me. I sound like a parakeet.
Me too.
Not just one, a pair.
You sound like a parakeet in real life, though.
Yeah, not just one, though, a parakeets.
Dead air.
You didn't even like
Dead
my
air.
joke. I thought you would
Dead
get
air.
it. I thought you would laugh.
I know.
So I have some major news before we even get into anything. Today, my baby was born.
Happy birthday.
Cutie.
Happy birthday, cutie.
Cutie was born at 1 a.m. this morning.
Oh.
Yeah, so my little white pug
She's
is
a
finally
night
here.
owl.
Yeah.
Just like her mommy.
Oh, she's so cute.
I can't wait to meet her and love her.
We got to listen to her breastfeeding off the mother. I don't know if that's what it's called with dogs.
Yeah.
It is?
Nursing. Yeah.
So we got to listen to it, and they make the cutest little noises. They're like, "Wah, wah." They sound like birds.
They did sound like, I thought there was a bird in the background when you let me listen to the video.
Oh my God, it's so cute. I cannot wait to get this precious little white pug. I shared photos of her on my boy page, which is Robert Champion. So if you want to see pictures, you got to go there. I think I'm private though, so you might have to add me, and I don't really add a lot of people on there.
Oh my God, because you're so cool.
I already have 10,000 friends.
Sorry.
I can't add people on there because I'm very private about
Nobody
my
friends
personal
me.
life.
You can friend me, and I'll share them. Because
Yeah.
nobody friends me. It's really sad.
Yeah, if you're a heterosexual male, even if you're like a tranny chaser,
Oh my God.
look up Patty Hurley on Facebook.
So he totally tried to sell me to the bartender downstairs tonight.
She said he was really
I was like,
her
he's
type
so
and cute.
No, I didn't say he was my type. I said I'm like, he's so cute. And so the guy comes over and he's like, is there anything else that you want? And he was like, no, I'm good, but she's single. And I was like, oh, wow.
And
I can't have a normal conversation with my best friend about someone who might be attractive without him trying to throw me at him.
At least I didn't try and buy a T-bone for you.
A good wingman is hard to find, though.
A good what?
A good wingman is hard to find, though.
A good wingman doesn't do that. He actually in a restaurant was like,
But what if it worked?
No, in a restaurant, he this is a while back, but he was like, she'd like a T-bone. She'd like your T-bone. And I was just
What?
like, you know what? Can I have the check? It's time for me to go.
I actually think, oh crap, I forgot to hit record again.
Ugh.
It's okay, it's recording
So
now.
Stupid.
So if you're just listening to our recording right now, we're talking about Patty getting T-boned by the bartender at Portello's.
Downstairs.
The one with the
Actually,
ponytail
that's
and the
not what we
Nintendo
were
tattoo.
talking about. Did he have a Nintendo tattoo?
Yeah, he had a Nintendo controller on his arm, like an original.
Was it the one with the ponytail?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm not
before.
I'm not a long
cute.
hair kind of girl, and I don't like that, and I'm not a beard girl either, like about those
Yep.
big beards. But it
suited him.
He's just a nice guy, and I was like, oh, he's
And
totally
he's a video game
just
nerd,
in
so
passing
he'll
to
get
a
along
friend,
with
like,
me.
oh, he's cute,
right?
And then the next
Little
thing you
Mario.
know, I'm being thrown in front of the bus.
Oh, that's not the first time you've been in front of a bus.
I can't even tell you that I think someone is good looking without you being like, hey, like chasing
I am
after them on
trying
the
to
street.
get you a man, and I'm going to go any road I need
can
to.
do that
Would
on
you have
my
preferred
own.
I went to the bathroom when he went in there and been like, hey, man,
No.
My girl at the bartender with the see-through sweater on wants you.
I didn't realize it was see-through when I put it on.
It looks like you're wearing a Dalmatian under that white sweater. I think I wore that bra before.
I threw this on downstairs at my house because it was in my downstairs closet, and I threw it on and I ran out of the house. I didn't look in the mirror.
It's super cute, but I think any fabric that thin on your giant tatas is going to be a little see-through.
I have a tank top underneath the sweater.
Oh, then the tank top is see-through too.
What color is the tank top?
White?
No, but you can see.
I can't see through
Are
it.
you wearing? Is it the floral print?
I can't see it.
Yeah.
It's the floral print bra. I can see the flowers in there.
Why do you know her bras?
Because I wore it.
Tried them all on.
I tried it on in their kitchen one night. It was on the drying
He did a
rack.
photo shoot with
You don't
them on.
remember that?
When I was upstairs
Oh, I
doing
do
my hair,
remember that picture.
when I was upstairs getting ready for the show one night, he did a photo shoot when I didn't know.
In all of her bras.
Yeah,
I love it.
It's pretty sad.
So, yeah, so we have a lot going on this week. My baby was born, and I would like to plug 2 shows tonight. I'm not going to plug them all because it got too overwhelming.
It's really overwhelming.
So I'm going to plug that next Friday night, I'm hosting the movie The Conjuring in Milford, New Hampshire at Singers. The tickets are on sale. You can get $5 off with code CONJURED5. And this is going to be one of my favorite events ever. Like, if you can come to this event, please come and support this event, because I'm going to be hosting this horror movie like Elvira did in the 80s. Like, I'm just going to be making stupid jokes, flashing boobies,
It's so much fun.
doing
It's gonna
crazy
be
stuff.
ridiculous.
I'm going to perform in the middle of the movie, and I'm going to perform at the end of the movie. And then if you're VIP, you get to go ghost hunting with me after the movie, which will be super sexy. And we also have one of my friends who's a medium, Peter Beth. And you may know him from America's Best Dance Crew on MTV. He was in the group from Lowell, Static Noise.
Nice.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so he's kind of a little celebrity in his own.
It's too bad I'm gonna be out of the area that weekend, because I could show him a few dance moves.
Oh yeah, you're going to Brockton, Mass, right?
Nope, going to Loon.
Oh, I thought you were going to Brockton to find a man.
No, oh my God, no! I'm going to Loon with my family because I don't need a man as badly as you want me to have one.
I've seen your text messages. You need a man. I've seen your desperation.
Oh, please.
You were picking phone numbers out of the phone book and texting and be like, my name's
Be
Patty.
like, hey girl, hey, what's up?
Oh my God, wrong number, but hey, I'm Patty. Here's a photo of me.
Oh my God, imagine? No.
Now, if you have an idea, she's going to spend the whole night on the couch doing that with a glass of Pinot Noir.
Right? Do this in the phone book with my eyes closed, and then just be like, bam!
Be like, oh,
You
hi,
win.
My name's Patty, and
You've won a prize.
I'm selling Bibles.
Can you imagine?
Oh my God, you're the least religious person I've ever met.
Seriously.
Aside from myself.
Especially, 'cause that's crazy considering like how religious my mom is.
She is.
She really is.
Yeah.
Huh?
Sister Marie.
Who knew what would happen to me?
I know.
Oh,
So
wow.
we are starting some new segments on the show, and tonight Caitlin's going to air her new segment called Caitlin's Critters. and,
Not to be mistaken with Caitlin's critter.
which goes like this.
Oh my God. And you can't feed it after midnight.
Or it turns into a gremlin.
Scare people.
One of those gremlins with lipstick.
A growler.
A growler. Oh. So Caitlin's Critters is going to be the segment every week where she's going to talk about the animals that are available for adoption through the Humane Society that we're helping adopt out.
Nice.
So why don't you tell us what's coming up this week for adoptions?
What's going on?
Yeah.
So we have 2.
And this is at the National
Humane Society.
National Humane Society. So these animals that I have this week are a little less maintenance. So if you're looking for, a companion, but you don't want to put in as much effort as, a dog or a cat.
So you lazy people listening.
Pretty much, yeah. If you go away a lot, you travel, this one doesn't need to be taken out on walks or anything like that. So we have Barnaby the chinchilla.
Oh my God, I've always wanted a chinchilla.
Me too. They're kind of cute.
Honestly, they've said low maintenance, don't really need to eat a lot, very soft, nice, gentle, calm creatures. And then we have a Miss Bunny, who is a white and black dwarf bunny, a Netherland dwarf bunny.
Was she in the Playboy Mansion?
Only for her first year.
Oh, okay.
Then
She was
she
a
retired.
centerfold.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Bunnies do it young.
So what a dwarf bunny, does it say how big she is or how much she weighs or?
No, it
No?
doesn't say that.
I think she's 2 years old. I think both of them are 2 years old.
It says, yeah, she's a 2-year-old female. It says that she's scared of people. She's very timid because of the previous household that she was into. So maybe if they had an animal
so if you
that was
like
a little
hug her extra
aggressive,
close,
you just want to give her snuggles, cuddles.
Your cat would eat her.
Stop
Snuggles
it.
gets hungry. Okay.
Snuggles would have to catch her, which would probably be impossible. But
yeah. Well, Snuggles gives up after a while.
Snuggles gives up after standing up. Snuggles just falls right back over.
My poor baby.
So they say this bunny eats about 1.5 cups a day, which isn't bad at all.
That's what I eat.
It's very low maintenance. They said that you can even potty train this bunny to go in a litter box.
They do that now with bunnies, which I think is pretty
cool.
awesome. Yeah.
And for the most part, bunnies, when they, do a little duty, it's not really anything crazy.
Did you just say duty?
Duty, yeah.
I have a client who has a bunny, and the bunny literally sits on the couch and watches TV with her and her family.
Really?
Like, it jumps up there on its own and like sits in between all the kids and just watches TV with them. Like, the bunny's never been in the cage.
I would be a bit nervous about a bunny on a couch just because if it did, as Caitlin so eloquently put it, duty, it might fall in between the seats. And then the next thing you know,
How big are your seat cushions that a duty can fall between them?
when I'm don't talk to me about my couch cushion seats. Okay, everyone's couch cushion seats come up. Things get in there.
I think I have found duty in between your couch cushions before.
I've definitely found duty in yours. Let's be honest.
Yeah, and it was from when you slept over.
No, I'm pretty sure I found duty when I was trying to get the legs to go up the other night.
No.
Yeah.
That wasn't duty. That was a milk dud. Oh my God. We snacked so much in there. I wouldn't be surprised if you found like a whole buffet of my couch cushions. Remember when you slept over like a month ago and I went and bought TV dinner trays at the dollar store and we filled them with like 800 snacks?
I had
That is why
Girl
I'm a
Scout
Heppa.
cookies, potato chips,
Super
Smarties, Twizzlers, hot pretzels from the oven. There was
Twizzlers.
Twizzler, and
Yes.
we did grapes too.
Grapes?
For
We-
something
we did
helping.
put fruit on
I
there.
had some grapes on there. It was a plate of artery clogging death, and it was amazing.
And that's why I'm so bloated right now. I'm
and then
still bloated.
after eating it, I was like, "Do you have any ice cream? Do you have that mint chocolate chip left? I need
She's
something
not even
salty."
joking.
You gotta balance it.
No, yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say. So, anyways, if you're looking to adopt,
Barnaby or
Barnaby
Bunny.
and Miss Bunny are available. So you
I wonder
just-
where they got that name for her.
Yeah, I know. That's such a weird
Oh,
name.
Miss Bunny. I know. I thought Barnaby was
It's
cute.
so
I think
creative.
Barnaby is super cute
Isn't
for a
that
chinchilla.
I think we should
Yeah.
change the bunny's name to like Heather Locklear.
No, she's not very furry. Bunnies
How
need
do you
something
know?
like cute.
How do you know Heather Locklear is not very furry?
We're friends.
Oh, you are?
Yeah, she like totally Snapchats me like all the time.
Oh, does she? I
Mhm.
think that's actually a drag queen named Heather Locklear.
Oh.
And she's furry.
Heather Locklear is a actress.
Yeah, from like, isn't she from like
Like
90210?
a
or
Melrose Place.
Melrose Place. I knew it was one of those.
She's
shows.
married to the guitarist in Bon Jovi's band, Richie Sambora or something like that.
I don't even know what that is.
I know. Sounds like a disease.
It sounds like Zambuca, which I
Oh,
speak
gosh.
alcohol, so I know that.
Sambuca is disgusting.
Oh,
Isn't that the licorice?
Yeah.
Oh,
like
I can
black
totally do.
licorice.
I can
know
totally
people
do
that
shots,
do
of,
shots
that.
of that.
Yeah,
and I
can.
think it's disgusting.
Oh my God, Jaeger, like freezing
No.
cold.
No.
Oh my.
oh
no.
God. You're gonna give me chills.
Oh my God, I love Jaeger. What
black
about you, Chuck?
licorice is the devil's candy. It's like
Black
it's,
licorice is good. Like not. I
I
wouldn't
love
eat
it.
black licorice.
I'm a
but-
tequila guy.
Oh,
Same.
tequila makes
Yeah.
me wicked mean.
Oh no.
Oh,
It does
no.
the opposite.
Yeah,
Yeah, no. Brings out the love.
yeah. I was gonna say, Caitlin's had tequila before.
I love tequila.
No,
I don't drink.
my God,
You
you
liar.
just chugged a whole bottle of wine downstairs before
You
we
remember
got
where
here.
I met you, right?
Oh, that's right.
At the bar.
I know at Pride. He was like, "Oh, we've met. Hi," and I'm like, "We did? I
No.
don't even know you."
Patty doesn't remember Pride.
No, I remember Pride. I don't remember Pride night.
I'm not surprised. Usually I'm the drunk mess and you were the drunk mess.
Yeah. Well, he said I did a good job.
You did great.
Thank you.
Did you enjoy the Pride show?
I did. I took my mom for her birthday, actually.
Oh
you
my
did. You
God.
should have told me. I love moms. I don't make fun of them, but I love talking to moms on the microphone. I wish I had known. I would have totally given your mom a
That's
shout out.
super cute.
Sometimes, like when someone brings like a really old mom, like a senior mom, I like wear my naked lady old suit Like I have a naked old lady suit with like long boobs.
Maybe I'm glad I didn't warn you.
Yeah, I would have done like Golden
You seem
Girls
a bit
mix.
more reserved than
I wasn't.
Rob. So
I did a dirty number that night anyway, but the old lady number is pretty amazing.
It had a few moments for me and my mom.
Yeah, well, that was too much.
Awkward.
No, it's all good.
Oh well, it's a drag show. It's never too much.
Agreed.
Did you just find someone's glasses and put them on?
Did they
if
work?
it was the same. Oh God,
Those
girl.
look kind of good on you.
They
Lindsay.
do look good.
No, that does not look
They're
good on
definitely
her.
not real like prescription glasses. I feel like they're.
Oh, they're
reading.
like cheaters.
I feel like they're.
Yeah,
like
Patty probably can
reading.
have perfect vision with them on.
Oh,
It's so studious.
Yeah, you look like the librarian.
oh my god, I can see my phone. I can actually read
She's
it.
like, now I remember you.
I can actually read it.
She's like, I can see.
oh my god, Chuck.
They are readers, so maybe you need them.
I actually have readers.
You are
I
in your
just don't-
50s.
I
It's
just,
not
I'm not in
surprising.
my 50s. I just don't wear them.
According to your Farmers Only profile, you're 56.
So did you really start it?
I really did start writing it. It's a lot. It's a lot to cry.
I know.
I have not dated
There's a
since
lot
Farmers
of
Only.
really wonderful things to say about me, so it's going to be really hard for you to write that.
I actually I created the quick list one night while I was eating a Tic Tac.
Oh, wah, wah.
Yeah, there was that many good things I saw about you. So
Mm. Well, some lucky guy is going to.
yeah. So I didn't even finish promoting my shows before we did Caitlin's Critter. I totally forgot what we were doing. She's so distracting in that see-through sweater.
Oh.
It's good. She's facing away from the camera.
I know, right?
No, no one ever
Seriously, we
gets
get
to see
high
me.
ratings.
I'm gonna
That's
get
why.
free
That's
show.
why I hide my face so people watch the show.
Oh God, and not throw up.
Blech.
No, I love Patty's face. I have farted into it multiple
Oh my
times.
god. Ew.
Once on New Year's Eve, right after she said,
God, I
think
wish
I'm
you
gonna...
were lying. I really
No,
wish you were lying, but
and,
you're not.
And one time it was New Year's Eve and she was laying on the couch and she's like, I feel like I'm going to throw up. And I went over and just literally put my butt up to her mouth and farted. And then like an hour later, she threw up in my laundry basket.
Oh God. Ah,
Good old times.
good old days.
2 years ago.
No, that wasn't 2 years
It was
ago.
2 or 3 years.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, it was like our last New Year's at the old house.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah.
Last year at the old house, I left, didn't I?
No,
Because Danny high-fived my back.
no, that was the year before that.
Oh, was it?
Yeah. So it was like 2 years ago that you did that.
I don't think so.
I think it was.
No,
'Cause then we moved in
last
the-
year New Year's I was at my sister's.
Yeah, and last year we were up in the woods in New Hampshire performing for Hillbillies.
Oh, that's right. I know it was our first like New Year's apart.
I
for
know.
a long
And this
time.
year I'm hosting a drag show on New Year's Eve.
Oh my God, really?
Yeah, I'm so excited about it. Are you
Oh,
kidding
okay.
me? I have like Mia and I have amazing performers for New Year's. I got them like ahead of time.
Well, I have to get a hotel room.
No, it's at the Holly Room in Hudson.
Oh,
So yeah, we've been working on it and we're working on a price right now for tickets and we're going to probably have some sort of buffet included and all that. So it's going to be kind of a cool little New Year's Eve get together, and then we're probably going to rent a van and shuttle everyone back to the house for like hot tub and, you know, like a sensible orgy or something.
oh! I don't think you can say that on the air.
Low key.
That's a word you can look up in an encyclopedia. It's not a dirty word.
Oh, okay.
We're not really doing that anyway. I was just making a joke.
I might have plans on
Calm
New Year's.
down, Miss Tight Sweater.
I'm very busy. I'm a very busy woman.
Oh, you are?
I might have plans.
Girl, I've seen your calendar.
I might have a man.
I flipped through the whole year and couldn't find a single plan. All I saw was like doctor's appointment, blood work, gynecologist. I have that day off from work and I'm going to stay at home
Eye
and snuggle
exam.
with the cats. Date with my sister. Possibly going to see my son this day because he's never home anymore now that he has a car.
Nope. Nope.
Yeah. Yeah, sad times. So the concert is next Friday. Tickets are available at Grow Tickets /Zingers, I think. If not, look in the link on the Facebook Live. It's there. And then that show, $5 off with Conjured 5 promo code. And then the other show I want to promote right now is the next show after that, which is Halloween at the Pasta Loft.
Ooh.
Spooky dooky.
Is it a dress up or guests gonna dress up?
I don't know. We haven't decided if we're doing a costume contest or not, but it's the 26th of October.
But if
and
people want to dress up, they can because it's a Halloween show.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
We're going to be dressed up.
Okay.
I'm already planning my costumes for that. Like I always go crazy for Halloween because it's like gay Christmas.
I think I'm gonna come in a costume.
You should.
Mhm.
You should come as a woman.
I think I'm.
Oh my gosh.
I'm wearing makeup tonight. BT
You look
Dubs.
cute. I like your boots.
Thank you.
Those are cute.
I know you can
Thank
see them through her
you.
sweater.
I'm never leaving the house without looking in the mirror again.
No, I actually kind of love it, and I love that you didn't realize
I
it
had
was a
no
little
idea.
see-through. So
I
you
was
probably
walking across Main Street, or whatever this is. East
And
Thomas-
guys were
not East
whistling.
Thomas. I don't even know what that street is. What's the street? Whatever that street is. I
The
was
one
walking
where-
across
West
the
Pearl.
street, West Pearl, and he was like, "Oh my God, I can see your bra." And
I can't.
No, you know what? I can see it from here, and I bet Chuck can see it because she's like right under the spotlight on the
Chuck's not
Chuck
going to
side.
look because Chuck is a gentleman.
Is he?
And
Is
I
he?
just saw him turn away.
We haven't established that yet. He just said that tequila makes him frisky. Okay, so no gentleman will ever admit that. So let's talk to Chuck about yoga.
All right.
Tell us about yoga. What is yoga?
Well, it's actually kind of a pet peeve of mine because a lot of people assume that yoga is just the exercise class that you go to. And actually, yoga is a bigger umbrella that includes meditation. It actually includes codes of conduct called yamas and niyamas. So like the equivalent of that is like maybe the 10 Commandments. There's like a yoga kind of set of that. And so when people come to the exercise class, it's actually called the asana practice. So I think that by saying, oh, come to yoga class, we're actually kind of like limiting people's scope of this whole set of tools that you can get from the bigger practice of it. So yoga is basically a way of living your life, how you treat other people, how you treat yourself, how you care and maintain for your body. And that's what yoga is.
Oh, nice.
I actually never knew that.
You didn't?
Most people don't.
No.
I knew that.
No, you didn't.
No, I didn't.
You know a lot less than I know.
But I love that you like said a word that sounded like llamas.
Yamas.
Yamas.
I thought you would like asana better.
What?
Asana.
Oh, I love asana.
So that's what
I'm going to get some asana tonight.
That's what the exercise class is called. Actually, it's called asana. So it's, you know, when you're doing asana, you got to remember to breathe and move your body in different shapes. And that's what that part of it is.
Do you think that they kind of dumbed it down for the general public to kind of to promote it and get people in the door? Do you think that's why everyone just goes like, do you do yoga?
I think maybe asana or any of the Sanskrit names just are too complicated, maybe. And I don't think it was an intentional dumbing down.
No, but it's a difficult thing to try and sell that.
Right, exactly.
And like you can't mass customize that.
Well, and I think also people sometimes are fearful of yoga. We talked a little bit about how you guys are not religious, but people that are religious, actually some churches and religions tell you that you shouldn't do yoga because it's like a gateway to the devil.
What? Oh wow!
Yeah.
I'm definitely going now.
Yeah, seriously.
Sign me-
She's going to show up in her
sign me up
Pentagon yoga
twice.
pants. Not Pentagon. Pentagram.
He really is that dumb.
Pentagram.
He really
I
is.
literally thought I said it and then
You
thought
literally
about it.
thought that?
I literally thought about the Pentagon.
You didn't figuratively think about it.
But personally, I think it can coexist with whatever your faith is, whether you have any or you have something specific. But there are definitely, so there was actually a big case in California that that the school board was sued because they felt by offering yoga in the school, they were offering something religion and that separation of church and state. So it was actually a huge case. I believe it was in Encinitas. And ultimately yoga won out. But that went on for actually a few years.
Wow. People have nothing better to do with their time than argue about their children doing yoga.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be a little controversial here. I think that I think what the fear is of some religions is yoga gets you in touch with yourself, and it basically reaffirms that you don't need something bigger than you, and that kind of goes against what some religions dictate, is that you have to be looking to something else.
Right.
And so I think that's where that fear comes from.
Well, yeah. I mean, if you have to have a higher power tell you what's right and wrong, then you have a much bigger problem.
I need to learn how to meditate, so I probably should go to yoga because everyone that I meet, like, I'm trying to bring out my like inner psychic ability a little bit.
Yeah.
It's come out a little bit, but it's not really tweaked. But everyone says you need to meditate. That's how it comes out.
Absolutely. And one of the studios that I'm a senior instructor at, Winshill Studios in Tingsboro, actually has a huge psychic community there. So the owner is actually a medium. We do lots of spiritual development programs, and I believe they have a open house coming with all different types of mediums. So there's
I'm going.
Yeah, they're and there's all different types of that too. From what I understand, there's like angel card readings, and there's intuitives, and there's mediums that actually like connect with spirit. So that's not something that's necessarily in my wheelhouse, but being in that studio, like some of the stuff that I've experienced and seen has definitely made me a believer. And just to kind of go back a little bit before, in the yoga philosophy too, it's not that we don't believe in a higher power, or that there isn't the universe. It's just a different name for it. So for me, I say, I trust in the universe. I have faith in the universe. Some people might call that God. So
That's what I use the universe.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
To me, it's the same thing.
None. I have no faith in anything on this earth.
Oh my God.
Except Christina Aguilera.
Really? Still?
I love her. I always love her. I'll love her until she dies.
Is she still a thing?
No, but
Yeah.
I love her still. She's in Vegas and I want to go see her so bad. But I already saw her and I already got to touch her and all that. So I really don't need to see her.
Gross. You're gross.
She touched me and Danny pushed someone out of the way and almost fought the person so I could touch her.
Stop. That's really cute.
It was really, we were in the mosh pit and the guy was so afraid of Danny after. Danny was like a pit bull. But
I'm not surprised. He's very protective.
But I got to
of
touch
his baby.
Christina. That has nothing to do with yoga, but yeah. So back to yoga. So you do
I think she's a yogi. I think didn't she have
probably
an album called Lotus that I think was kind of inspired by her?
She was butt naked on it.
Mm-hmm. She's coming back to herself.
Is that what Lotus means?
Lotus is it's the flower, which basically symbolizes that life can be messy and dirty, but ultimately you'll rise up out of the mud.
Oh,
and so that's kind of one of the reasons why the lotus.
I've risen out of the mud a few
Risen out
times.
of the mud. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. After some bad burritos.
So he had mentioned that you have a workshop coming up.
I have a lot of things coming up. So I think what we want to talk about today is that later on this month I'm doing a day retreat, which is geared for gay and open-minded men, and so that's coming up October. I should have known the date, 16th or 19th, whatever this Saturday is. The link, I believe, is on
It's the 19th.
Okay, the 19th.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is the fourth one that I'm doing. And so what?
So women aren't allowed, basically.
Not
That's
for
what
this
you're
one.
telling me. Mhm.
Not for this one.
Mhm.
Every once in a while, the
I'm
guys
only
have to
teasing
get
you.
together. So it's from 10:30 in the morning till 4:30 at night. And we do 2 asana practices. So the first one will be a little bit more vigorous. And then the afternoon one is more relaxation with some meditation. And then we have a lunch break together, which kind of brings that community and connection. And then after lunch, so while we're digesting our food before we move our bodies again, we talk about those philosophies, but we talk about them through the lens specifically as, I'll be honest, I've done 4 of them and everyone's gay that shows up to it.
Mhm.
But if, somebody who's questioning or open or, any of the letters wants to come, they're welcome to come. But in my experience, it's always been gay men. And so we talk about the yamas and the niyamas through the lens of our experience. So for example, one of the things that comes up is how do we treat each other on these dating apps, like ghosting, and is that kind, and how does that kind of beat up people's egos, but then ultimately how does that kind of pebble in the water ripple out through the community to potentially harm us. So we talk about things like that. And what I've kind of learned going through it is that I have people write down issues that they want to talk about with their peers or with people in the community, and on a piece of paper. So it's private so that you can kind of open up, and then I read them, and then we talk about it in the context of the philosophy. So I kind of review those yamas and niyamas with them, and then we have conversations that are pertinent to what's going on in our lives. And it's been really powerful. The last one, we had guys as old not as old, but I guess they are old. In their
Yeah.
in their 70s.
Call a spade a spade.
Yeah,
It's okay,
so
Jeff.
they were in their 70s.
You know them, Patty?
They were in their 70s, and then there was guys as young as in their 20s. And so it was really cool to be with this swath of gay men from all these generations, and to kind of like not only see the progress. Like, so for example, like the older guy had been married to a woman and lived his life in the closet, and she had passed away like maybe 2 years before, and this was him basically finally like coming out and being able to live his life authentically. And then there was like the guys that were kind of my age, almost 50, talking about the AIDS crisis and the fear that came along with that, and maybe how that perpetuated all of us to move towards, we've got to get married and we've got to live these heteronormative lives. And then there was like the 30s and the 20-year-olds who were like, oh, AIDS, that was really that bad. So it was really kind of interesting to see the progress of like 4 generations of men all together.
AIDS is still bad, but people don't fear it like they used to.
Right, exactly. I mean, someone who lived their life in the closet, or again, kind of like culturally, like us moving towards monogamous relationships, where like some of the younger people just didn't even understand that. Like they were all like open relationships.
Gay people were blamed, but we were the blame for AIDS. And
right,
it
absolutely.
didn't even come from gay people. It came from African American people in Africa.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't even come from gay people to begin with, but it became a gay disease in the 80s, and that was very attacked for that.
Right, absolutely.
If you were gay, you had AIDS.
I grew up in the 80s. No, believe me, I know.
I was born in the 80s, but I remember a lot of that stuff. And I remember watching like Party of Five, and remember that show?
That was a great show.
And the mother was like talking about how she drank from her son's cup, and she doesn't have. I remember this whole conversation that they had on the show, because I was like, why are people so ignorant? Like, that's not how it starts and where it comes from. Like, even in the 80s, you should know this stuff.
Yeah,
but we didn't have social media to tell us the truth,
Right.
I had heart surgery when I was 2 in 1977, and I had to have blood transfusions, and it was before they tested for it. And I remember, or like, I don't remember, but what ended up happening was in the 80s when the big scare happened, and they started testing, screening blood before transfusions for it. My mom, I mean, like my mother was afraid at the time.
Yeah.
Like, my baby girl had transfusions, and before this blood was tested for anything.
Right. I mean, I still can't donate blood as a result of it.
Yeah, because we're gay.
We're sexually active. They've changed it so that as long as you're, it says if you're sexually active within the last year, then you can't. So, I mean, if you're gay and you don't have a full life.
Blood. No, I'm just kidding.
Well,
you have a baby on the way. That doesn't make any sense.
No, it's a pug.
It's a pug.
It's a pug. It's a dog.
It's a dog.
And I have a 3-year-old, but he didn't come from me.
Okay.
We adopted him.
I think that I still can't believe that. It blows my mind, because they test everyone's blood. So I don't understand I don't understand the practicality behind it. And there's so many people going without blood that they need, and they're talking about the blood banks are low. And I go, and the last few times that I went to go give blood, they wouldn't let me, because I've had a tattoo in the last year, or I've been out of the country in the past year. And
blood is blood. Why are we so picky?
Like, why you test everything before you don't just pack it up and send it out?
If somebody's dying, do you think they're going to say, "Hey, no, I don't want hepatitis C"?
Or would they say, like, "No, that girl got a tattoo 8 months ago"?
Right.
Like,
or,
no.
"Oh no, I don't want that blood from a gay."
Yeah.
Let's get back to yoga.
Okay.
If you're just tuning in, you're listening to Life's a Drag on WSMN 1590, and we are here with Yogi Chuck Raffoni. And the most important question I have for you is: do you do goat yoga?
I don't do goat yoga.
So when are you going to do?
Because that's the yoga we're actually going to come to.
Wait! I got a couple other things up my sleeve that might entice you. I don't do the goat yoga, and I have some colleagues that have.
I just want to pet a goat.
Yeah, but they poop on the mat, and they poop on people's backs sometimes.
Oh my god, that's so
that's
cute.
A lot. That's a lot. That's a lot for me.
I'm not afraid of poop.
Not that kind of poop.
Well, not animal poop.
They're
but,
like little
baby.
they're like little baby M&Ms.
Yeah.
I just haven't had the candy coating put on it yet. They're teeny little poops.
Oh, so that is kind of weird that they do
I'm
that.
sorry,
like, they're not
Caitlin.
trained
They're teeny
enough.
little
Right.
duties.
So what I do, that's kind of on the fun side.
Iguana yoga?
No. I have after some tequila in Mexico, but that's
Imagine
a different
he's
story.
like sea cow yoga.
Sea cow manatee
yoga.
I would go to that.
All right. So I do glow yoga, so black light yoga. My next one's coming up on.
Don't wear that shirt,
I'd have to be
Patty.
careful for what I
Oh,
wear.
that would be great. That would be great.
And make sure you don't wear something that's been used and not washed.
Anyway, Jeff.
I was quick on that one. Usually that would go way over my head.
no.
So I do Glow Yoga, but my next one's the same night as your event, so we won't talk about that one. And
You can talk about it. They're not going to go to your yoga. They're going to come to my event.
October 26th will be a Halloween themed Glow Yoga, but I do offer that periodically at Winslow. And then the other thing that I do that's really fun is I do yoga at the brewery. And so I do that
on GW?
No, I actually do it at Western Ave Studios in Lowell. And so what I do is I partner with Onyx Room. And so that is a nonprofit that benefits Miracle Providers Northeast, which benefits.
Oh, I was just going to say, I know the Onyx Room for something.
Yeah,
and I
that's
actually,
Mark.
Emma.
Yeah, Emma Bitch.
Yep.
Yep. So
she actually has asked me to do drag bingo with her.
Oh, you should. It's.
I have never
really fun.
been, but yeah, she has asked me to host, and I've actually asked her to be on the radio because I love the Miracle Providers and because they provide choice for children and
yeah, the
they're all
Christmas
about
wish
children.
list.
Yes.
Yeah, they're awesome. So all the money that I spent to rent the Onyx Room goes to the charity. And then so what we do is we do a yoga class in the theater. It's super cool. There's light. I have a sound guy, Nelson. Shout out to you. And then we move on.
We don't do shout outs on the show.
I'm just kidding.
We're going to take that back, Nelson. Sorry about that.
Sorry, Nelson.
Joe LeBlanc, intern Joe, could you please delete that name from the record? No, I'm just kidding.
I'm doing good not swearing. So.
Yeah. Well, you did say Emma's last
He's
name on
really-
the air.
I'm not allowed to say that. I'm sorry.
He's really pushing you, though. I can tell you want to swear.
I
And
know.
He makes everyone
I'm just
want
trying
to swear.
I'm just trying to lighten it up a
If
little.
you go back and watch the tape, I took a deep breath before I said stuff at one point.
Yes, good. Okay, I'll listen later.
So then we move over to Navigation Brewing Company, and with your ticket, you get 2 full pours and a beer. And so it kind of
that's
just
cool.
fosters community. Usually what happens, in a yoga class is you come in and then you go right out, and you don't get a chance to, number one, for me to connect with the students, and also for the people to come and connect together. And so I have people that come that are sober. You don't have to drink, but it's pretty cool. And there's a wood-fired pizza truck that's usually there. So basically I look at it as like, I make some money. The brewery makes some money. The pizza truck makes some money. The charity makes some money, and people get a great night out that's affordable. And to me, that's like a 5 times win. And people are also getting the benefits of the yoga. So I usually do it with like kind of like a cool theme, or at least what I think is cool. So some of the things I've done in the past, I did Rumors of a Hotel California. So all the music was the Eagles and Stevie Nicks and Fleetwood Mac. And the next one is Yacht Rock. And so I was a little nervous about it. Like I mentioned to a couple of friends, and they were like, "Oh, what is Yacht Rock?" And I kind of told them, they gave me like a blank, like, "Are you sure? Like, are you sure you don't want to just do the 80s again? That works for you."
Oh, I love the 80s.
The 80s was a fun one.
90s too.
90s was a good one too. Done that. But the Yacht Rock, actually, it went on sale yesterday, and it's been the fastest selling, the largest first day ticket sales of any of the brewery events that I've done. So I'm super excited about that, and kind of trusted my instincts, and I'm glad that I did.
Yeah, next time you do a 90s event, I'm actually a backup dancer for Salt and Pepper.
All right.
Oh my God, you were on stage with him twice. Get over yourself.
And I can get you their information if you need
Oh
it.
my God, no, you cannot.
So what do you think about
The Crisis with Spinderella?
Peppa's new look?
Oh, I didn't see it.
Oh, you need to go. She's a whole new woman.
She was the mean one when we saw her the first time. We saw her in New York, and I was on stage. They pulled me up on stage drunk, and I did the windshield wiper dance on stage in front of a crowd of 99%
Here is Salt.
straight
Here's
African American women,
and they're
they did not
dancing.
go for it.
Everyone else they pulled on stage is over here grinding up on Salt and Pepper.
Yeah.
And then over here is Rob
Like 20 feet to the
doing
left.
this.
I was
It was
so
amazing.
drunk, and there's a video on Facebook, and I'm horrified
I'll
by
totally
it.
share that on Life's a Drag page tonight.
Oh, please do. I want to see that.
Oh my God, it was
Absolutely.
so
gonna
bad.
ask if it was on YouTube.
I was so chunky wearing a medium. It was like a schmedium on me. It was so bad. And then the next year we went to see them at
in Manchester.
in Manchester.
Yeah,
and
the
it was like,
Verizon.
and it was like
It was. We went to the
snowstorm.
it was the 90s
And
group.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then of course they start pulling people on stage, and the manager, I'm like, "No, I'm not going up there." And he's like, "Now." And I'm like, I don't want to anymore. I don't want to do it again. It was embarrassing. And he's like, get up there. And it was the same manager from New York. So I'm pretty sure that he just like was like, oh, that's that little gay boy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure they know who I am because of that. Like,
Oh my God!
you don't think they
Really?
talked about that after?
I'm sure they. I'm sure they.
I'm sure they are making
I'm
fun
sure
of me
they
still to this
laughed
day.
hysterically about it.
I'm sure they are
after.
still like, remember that little white gay boy in New York who made a complete butt out of himself on stage?
Which was amazing.
And Peppa was like, no, not having it.
No?
And Salt was like, yeah, I'm the white boy.
Yeah,
You know, like
that was
Salt
really
was really
cute.
into it, but Peppa did not give crap.
I bet you pushed it real good. Well,
No.
No,
No, he didn't.
No,
No, I
Mm-mm.
did not push it real good.
He wiped the ceiling pretty good.
I was like, I'm gonna wash that man right out of my hair. And that wasn't even the song. It was actually What a Man.
That song that you just sang was from the play South Pacific.
Yeah, I know. And you know what also from? Have you ever seen the movie Connie and Carla? And it has Toni Collette and the lady from My Big Fat Greek Wedding.
No.
And they get in trouble with the mob and they have to hide out as drag queens. So they go to a cabaret, like a dinner and drag show.
I've seen it,
such
yeah.
a funny movie. And they literally dress up as drag queens and pretend they're drag queens and hide from the mob.
Oh, that's funny.
And their boyfriends are like trying to find them too. And they're literally just doing show cabaret and stuff like that.
Wow.
But that's where I got that girl, what you wearing your prom dress? Because that's what they say to the drag queens like backstage in the movie. Because it was so stupid. You need to watch. We'll watch it. We'll have a night.
All right.
Because it's actually a really good movie. Just so you guys know that this Life's a Drag post is responding 80% better than others.
Wow.
I love it when Facebook gives you like those alerts. Like in the middle of a live video, they just send you an alert. Like, you're doing great.
Keep
Thank
it
you,
up.
Facebook.
Keep it up.
Keep it up.
Has anyone had any comments or questions for Chuck?
We actually had one question. Does yoga focus at all on mindfulness?
yes, of course. So
I feel like
Yeah,
that's a
you
very
idiot.
No. Whoever asked that question should be shot.
Dumpkin. Who was it?
No, who was it?
Kaylee.
Oh, thank you.
Haley, love you.
yeah, so the way I look at it is so I do offer like different styles. So I teach a style called Broga, which is geared for men. So that has like functional fitness and exercise. And then I didn't create that.
Do you teach Woga
Woga?
for women?
No, women actually come to Broga too.
Oh.
You're mostly man, Patty. You can go to Broga.
So I can go to Broga.
You can come to Broga for
All
sure.
right, thank you.
So I teach Broga. I didn't create that. I actually, the guy who created it, I actually used to like follow online, and then I ended up taking the training, and then I ended up working with them for like 5 years. And
So it's not just like a fun name for a
no,
class.
no, no.
It's
It's
a
actually
thing.
like a company, and you're licensed, and it's copywritten. And
So you're a licensed brogist?
I'm a licensed brogist. Yes,
Oh.
I'm a licensed broker instructor.
I want to be able to say that. Like, I want to be able to say I'm a licensed broker.
You know what? Do you remember Helen Madden from Mad TV? It was either Mad TV or Saturday Night Live, and she was the one that was a licensed joyologist. And she would always she was the one that was like, I love it, I love it, I love it. And she was like, I just want to eat it. Like, she was so crazy. Like, that's all I can think of when I hear the word ologist now.
Okay.
I feel like you're a joyologist. In a sense.
I try. I'm just certified. I'm not licensed.
No. Well, you need to be licensed.
I
I'll
know.
license you. I'll fill out a paper for you later.
Exactly.
Certificate.
So then I teach Relax, which is the class I was telling you about, and that's definitely about mindfulness. And so what I do is I try to help people connect with their 5 major senses. So we use aromatherapy for smell, carefully selected music for hearing, and then there's chocolate at the end for taste, and then there's other elements throughout the class.
Ooh.
And then I have another class called Recharge, and Recharge is like high energy, fitnessy based. There's a dance break in the middle of it, and so that's kind of like what that's known for. That class takes you a little bit out of mindfulness. It's like kind of like distracting and funny and pop music, but ultimately exhausts you so that when you do come down to the final pose, which is called Shavasana, then you can kind of like turn inward. But generally, the asana practice, the way I kind of frame it for people is that you're coming in to assess where you are in your mind, your body, and your spirit. First, how do you arrive? Like, I just showed up and I'm stressed from traffic, or my day was horrible. This is how my body's feeling, like physically, like I've got an ache in my back and I feel fat and I hate myself today, or I look awesome today and I feel really good. and then your mind, like where's your head at, and then your spirit. And by spirit, I mean your willpower, like what gets you through every day, every year, every month, every season. And so I have them check in with that. And then as you go through these poses, it's a constant assessment, a constant mindfulness of where you are. And you're purposely putting yourself into just in like almost like distressful situations so that you can learn tools. So yoga is basically like a set of tools for when life gets stressful. So the posture is really kind of creating a stressful situation when life knocks the breath out of you, or like you've got to hold on to something. And how do you catch your breath? How do you not grip on? So there's so many metaphors for life, like relationships, right? Like, you know, when you grip too tight on a relationship, it usually doesn't work out that well. And the same thing with the pose. Every pose is like, where do you find some ease? But also, where do you have to engage your body? Like, where do you have to put the effort in? Where do you not need to control? So it's constantly being mindful and constantly assessing where you are on those three elements of your being. And then I do teach some styles because sometimes people just need to get out of their head and they don't need to be so mindful for so long. And so that's kind of what I kind of do with Recharge.
So what would you do for somebody who's trying to lose their baby weight still? Like I have like a little baby weight left.
Then you would do, so that's part of it too, right?
Bulimia?
Thyroid.
I have a thyroid problem.
It's your thyroid.
That's a really good question. And what I've learned is that people think of, so like we were talking about, right? Like yoga is actually this bigger umbrella, and there's the asana class. So people hear yoga, and it's awesome that the medical community is sending more people to yoga, but I don't think they fully understand the scope of yoga that's out there. And so I've heard stories of, and even seen for myself, like you'll get the super athletic type A, like wants to work, wants to sweat, person come into the relaxation class, and they're like, we're going to lay on the floor for an hour and wiggle our fingers and just like feel our breath. And they're like, I'm going out of my mind. Yoga's not for me. Or the older person with like in need of a knee replacement and hip replacement comes to a class like Broga, and it's way more than what they're capable of doing. And then they get frustrated and it's too challenging. And then they're like, I don't like yoga. So I think it's really important for people to understand that there's all different styles of yoga. And then there's also the teachers, like who you vibe with. Like, I'm sure there's people that don't vibe with me.
Yeah, I'm not vibing with you right now.
Because we only have 8 minutes left. 9. You know, they might not like the music that I play, or they might not like that I joke. You know, I don't want to offer a pretentious yoga class at all. I want people to like let loose and feel comfortable with themselves. And I think that that's reflective in who comes to my class. I've had studio owners and other places be like, okay, like your classes are insanely diverse. You've got bikers and gay people and trans people and older women and younger people.
He was talking about you there.
Older women? Yeah, definitely. I'm definitely in a new box this year.
And so,
do you take AARP?
I don't think you're much older than me, so I'm not going to say anything.
What do you mean much older than you? How old are you?
Well, I'm 49.
I'm 44.
He said you were in your 50s. That's why.
I know he said that, but he's a liar.
I was shocked. I was shocked by that revelation.
No, you weren't. We're fighting, Chuck. We're fighting.
I know.
You're not gonna accept my friend request.
I'm totally not going to Broga anymore.
Oh my god.
Now I need relaxation.
So there was a good question here. Oh, about losing your baby fat. Is pick a class that's strenuous. That's gonna be more physical fitness, one that's going to engage your muscles as opposed to relaxing the muscles, one that's going to have some cardio element in it. So Broga has HIIT, high intensity interval training, like a blast of that. Recharge has the cardio and the dance break.
No cardio.
No,
none, period.
In your life, or you just don't like to do it?
No, not ever. I'm not going to do it.
You don't dance?
No, God, have you seen me perform? I'm a comedian. I'm not a dancer.
No.
Every time I try to dance, people are like, "What the heck just happened?"
Your performance with Salt and Pepper is legendary.
The last time he tried to dance, someone called an ambulance because they thought he was having a seizure.
They literally like, someone's having a stroke. She's having a stroke.
No, just kidding.
I mean, sometimes I think people get too in their head about the dance break. It's honestly, it's like squats and like kind of like just.
I don't want to
Oh
do
my God, I
squats
can do that
anymore
right now.
either. I went to a personal trainer for like 2 years, so I did all of this stuff,
Yep.
and I'm like, I don't have any interest
No?
in cardio anymore. I want the easiest way to lose baby weight. Like,
There's no
if
easy
and
way.
I just don't have to eat anymore, I could probably manage that.
I'm a big advocate of intermittent fasting. Do you know what that is?
Are you?
Yeah, I am.
I've been reading about that.
Yeah,
lately.
it's for me. It was a game changer. I got a pre-diabetic warning.
I've gotten that a few times,
and I was like, whoa, like I'm a fitness instructor. Like, how is this happening? And then they put me on cholesterol medication, and so I was like, all right. I kind of have a history of getting medical news and trying to figure it out for myself. And that was my road to yoga, and my immune system was shot out in my 20s. And so with intermittent fasting, I came away from the pre-diabetic warning, and they took me off my cholesterol medication. And I lost like 18 pounds.
I'd love to talk to you more about that because I've been reading about that lately, and I don't know anyone's head that I can pick about it. You know what I mean?
Super easy. There's all different kind of like formulas that you can use. What I use super easy is I only eat within an 8-hour window. And so for me, because of my kind of crazy work schedule, it's from 2 to 10. That's when I eat, but you can shift it to your life. So you only eat in that 8 hours, and, obviously make smart choices when you're there. But
yeah, you don't like have lunch at like Kentucky Fried Chicken and then go and have dinner at McDonald's.
What's wrong with that? Are you
Do
just
you?
I mean, no.
Do you?
I
Are you
targeted.
judging me?
I did at Wendy's the other night. I did a yoga retreat
I
after
love
a
how
whole weekend.
guilty you sound.
after
I had Wendy's.
I did it. It was the spice chicken
Was
sandwich.
it amazing? I haven't had Wendy's in years.
I had it a couple weeks ago. It was
Did
amazing.
you?
I had chili.
Aw.
But I do want to ask 2 questions
Sure.
that are very serious questions before the time runs out. The first question is, what's your favorite position? Yoga position. Oh my god.
Hey!
What's your favorite yoga position?
Oh, my favorite yoga pose. I like one called Thread the Needle. And so it gives you like a nice deep shoulder twist and spinal twist.
Oh, I feel like I need that.
And you can add some elements to it. You can I'll offer like a leg lift in it so that you can have some balance challenge. That's probably one of my favorites.
I love how you say you'll offer a leg lift.
It's all yeah.
It's like take it or not.
Yeah,
Whatever you
absolutely.
want.
That's what it all is. As long as you show up for yourself and you breathe, like that's what it is. Like, and everybody's body's different. Everybody's capabilities are different. It's all offered.
So the leg lift brings me to my next question.
Okay.
So when I was working out with a personal trainer and was forced to do these weird positions, I farted on my personal trainer.
I knew this was going to
during
I
a leg lift,
I
and it
would
was
have loved
so
that.
horrifying. Like I pretended it was the mat, but I was like, "How does that go off in a quiet classroom?"
I knew that this was. I had a feeling that this was
That's
going to be a
'cause you're
topic.
psychic.
Yeah,
We're psychic.
I'm working on that. But I had a feeling this was going to be a topic that came up with you guys.
You planned, didn't you?
I don't know why. What are we talking about?
I went to your show. I know that there's some humor.
Patty farted into the microphone that night.
Oh yes, that's exactly.
I've now
what
heard that you
happened.
farted in her face twice.
Yeah.
In the 2 times that I've been in your presence.
And then
so.
one time I was playing VR and just took my pants off and bent over and showed her the whole thing.
Okay.
So
Anyway.
there is actually a pose called wind relieving pose. So it's basically laying on your back and drawing one knee towards your chest as you kind of extend through the other leg.
Oh, that just got so manly. Did you hear that in the headphones?
He got
Oh.
close. He was like, and then you extend through the other leg.
Wind relieving pose.
I love it.
I'm going to try that position when I get home. I'm a little too nervous to do it right here.
I'm assuming it happens in class.
Oh, almost every class. So
Does everyone giggle?
no, honestly, I will say this: it's the number one reason that people don't come to yoga classes. Has been studies, and it's the number one reason why people don't come. Because
would be my reason.
They're afraid to.
Afraid to toot?
Yes, but it's a bodily function, and I offer that release.
At the end of the class, everyone rips one.
See, I would be that person that would giggle.
I
'cause
will
I can't
s-
help
I
it.
will-
Parts are funny. I don't care.
I will say, like, the older that people get, they just don't
care.
Thank you.
Yeah.
They just don't care, and sometimes they're like kind of gleeful about it, and it's like, oh come on, like, did you have to like pick right in front of me while I'm teaching?
So,
but you do you, and but it does happen, and And there's only been one time that we left because it was just like it must have been Taco Tuesday or something, and it was crazy.
Oh my
She had a
god!
salad for lunch.
So before we run out of time, remind me to talk about farts next week because it's not a funny story, but it's about men and urinals, and they always seem to be farting when you go pee in a bathroom, and it makes me mad. So we're going to talk about that next week. We're going to talk about bathroom etiquette with men.
Okay.
But before we close out the show tonight, I would like to say thank you to my co-host Caitlin of Caitlin's Critters. Yeah. And then Patricia Hurley. And I also want to thank Chuck Raponi from Yoga with Chuck.
Yep.
And all of his pages are tagged in the post. And quickly give your retreat a shout out. We have 29 seconds.
October 19th. It's in Tewksbury. That's open for gay and open-minded men. And you can find all my other events on Yoga with Chuck, Instagram, Facebook, and .com.
Thank you for listening to Life's a Track on WSMN 1590. We'll see you next Friday at 8 p.m. And remember, I'm actually a dude.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.